what I want people to start to do is start to take some really nice deep breaths. So when you're just stand with some space around you, because we're also going to get you to swing your arms around, so if you can find a bit of space where you can fully reach out and be able to not crash into any furniture, that would be fantastic. So what you're going to start with is just taking 5 to 10 deep breaths. So first of all, stand with your feet just wider than shoulder width apart, relax into your body, feel the ground underneath your feet, and start to breathe deeply. And when you breathe deeply, I want you to get all of the air that's possible into your lungs. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And I want you to feel at the end of your in-breath, when you're getting that maximum amount of air in, the muscles in your neck starting to engage to lift your upper rib cage. And that's when you know you've reached your maximum lung capacity. So, starting to breathe now. Feel the muscles in the neck. Breathe out, go a little softer. And we're going to do this 10 times. 2. Feel the muscles. Relax the muscles. 3. And if you start to get lightheaded, just slow it down or pause a little bit longer. But it just means you're saturating your body with oxygen. That's 4. 5, so for those who just joined, deep breaths is what we're starting with for all your air into your lungs. I'm getting a little lightheaded now, so I'm just going to pause and then breathe again. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so your body should be saturated with oxygen now. You should have an awareness of how much lung capacity you have. Your muscles in your neck should start to be activated, and it's time to start to move. So, the first movement we're going to start with, it's going to be a warm-up movement, and it's just going to be a gentle coming up onto your toes and back down again. We're going to do this 20 times. So, 3, 4, actually for the morning, 20 times is probably a strength, so we'll do it for 10 times. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, and if it feels like you want to do a couple more, do a couple more. This is completely up to you. After you've raised up onto your calves, pumping the blood from your feet into your legs and into the thighs, moving the blood from your feet up towards your heart, you're going to start to bend your knees. Bringing your knees backwards towards your buttock. Don't hold it there, this is not a stretch. This is more of a mobility movement. So you're trying to bring your heels upwards towards your buttock. You will feel a gentle stretch in the thighs, but the objective is to pump the blood through your body, not to stretch the muscles. Stretching before exercise has actually been shown to increase your risk of injury. So after you've stretched out the calves, what we're going to do is get you to do some gentle forward bends. So just bending forwards, rolling down from the top to the bottom as far as you feel comfortable, and coming back up again. We're going to do this 5 times. Now when you're rolling down, bend your knees. There is no need to lock out your knees and stretch the muscles at the back acutely. This is a warm up, so keep it gentle, just engage with your body. That's 3, and 4, and 5. So your spine is starting to be warmed up, your legs are starting to be warmed up, and we're going to go into a couple of squats. Now with these squats, we're going to do 5 to 10. Do what you feel comfortable doing. When you're going down, a lot of people feel strain on their knees when they're squatting. Now in order to protect your knees when you're squatting, it's really important that when you're going down, your knees are not dropping inwards. And they're riding over the second toe. So keeping your knees nice and straight as you go down, and if your knees are a little bit painful, stick your butt out a bit more. So sit back into the squat more, this unloads the knee. For those who've got comfortable knees, just go directly down, okay? Far as you feel comfortable, 10 times, starting now. 1, 2. So this is activating the muscles in your buttock and your thighs. 3, 4. Just do what's comfortable. Get your blood pumping. 5, 6, 7. Keep those knees riding over those second toes. 8, 9. You should start to feel your muscles now. 10. Okay, fantastic. Next, get your wrists circling. We want to warm up the upper limbs now. Blood has been pumped from the feet all the way up to the abdomen and into the heart. And now we want to get the upper limbs working. When you're moving your wrists in circles, I would like you to also move your fingers. So your fingers it's really important if you're going to be typing or using the mouse all day to make sure that the muscles that control your fingers have gone through their full range of movement. So I really want you to open and extend your hands and flex fully as you're rolling. So you're really trying to open and close the hands, warming up the wrist joints. And the wrists only have the possibility to bend down and up and side and side. The elbow is what does the flipping over. So I want you to start to now focus on flipping the wrists over and down. This is going to be warming up your elbow joints in pronation and supination. Next, we're going to move on to your elbows. So after you've done this opening and closing, pronation, supination at your elbow, straighten your arms and bend them. Straighten and bend them. And I want you to start to bring your arms in a circle. So as you're bending them, you're bringing your arms back, starting to work the shoulders. And this is really going to begin to stretch those biceps at the front. And bringing your arms back, gradually working as you're bending, overhead. This is just starting to stretch the triceps at the back here now. Gently stretching them as you're getting them moving and repeating back. Now if you want to add some rotations to this is going to begin to get your whole shoulders moving and your whole upper limbs. As they go down towards the floor, the blood will flood to your hands. And as they go above your head, the blood will flood back to your heart. Again, thinking about the blood pumping in the muscles. Okay, now we're going to get your shoulders rolling. So with these shoulder rolls, I want you to find the limits of the range of your shoulders. So I want you to go all the way forwards before going all the way up and all the way back. When you're going back, you should feel or imagine you're pinching a coin in between your shoulder blades and you're trying to hold it there. So really opening your shoulders out at the back. Keep them rolling. And as you go up with your shoulders, attempt to breathe in. Feel how the shoulder movement assists the rib movement in inhalation. As your shoulders come up, it opens the ribs to allow more air into your lungs. Couple more of these. Get those shoulders moving. And then we're going to start to get the neck moving. Okay, and relax your shoulders down, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. Notice your body. Come back into your body and get it waking up for the morning. So when you're shaking, do be a little bit more vigorous with the shake. You want to try and wake up your limbs. Okay, so now with the neck, we're going to start with simple forward and, flexion and extension. So looking down, tucking the chin into the neck. And when you look up, if you're feeling a little pinchy at the back of the neck, it's very common to feel a bit of pressure there. Jam the tongue to the roof of your mouth. So if you're holding the tongue to the roof of the mouth, it tenses the muscles on the front of your neck and stops your neck from going too far into extension. And when you do that, you should feel a gentle stretch at the front. So just going down into full bending. It's totally okay if you allow the upper back to bend a little bit with this. But just repeating. Looking up and down. And again, if you're feeling that pressure at the back of the neck, just keep that tongue stuck to the roof of your mouth, tensing the structures at the front of the neck. And we so often neglect the front of the neck. And when the muscles are tight here, it pulls us into a forward, protracted head position. And it's very common if you're doing a lot of desk work for this to become a normality. So just use the mouth and the tongue to experiment with stretching out the front here. Okay. Coming back to the centre, I'm going to go into rotation now. So again, just as comfortable as you can be, getting this nice range of movement going throughout the neck, and allow the rest of your body to follow. You're leading the movement with your head, but the movement can follow down into your upper back, and just feel how your head is often the director of movement. Notice how your head and your eyes follow each other, and how you tend to look where you're going. Repeating this from side to side, seeing if it gets a little easier as you repeat it. The idea is to loosen all the joints and the muscles in your neck with this movement. If you're pushing into pain, your body will tense to try and protect you, and you will not get looser. So it's really important to keep it comfortable if you want to get more flexibility and more range of movement. And when your brain learns that movement is comfortable, movement becomes comfortable. Next is side bending. Now this provides a really nice stretch for the side of the neck, and again, if you're feeling any pinching on the side that you're bending towards, just don't go as far. Also, you can bend a little bit forwards into this. When you drop your head slightly forwards into this movement, you may feel the stretch translate up to the back of your shoulder a little more. So just dropping from one side to the other side, getting that neck moving, and feeling the relationship between your neck and your shoulders. As you bend to the side, it's likely that the shoulder you're bending away from will come up just to aid that stretch. Just let that shoulder come up with the neck movement. You can do this a couple more times to each side, and then we'll be ready to get the strengthening exercises going. Okay, fantastic. Coming back to the centre, standing, checking in on your body. How does it feel compared to when you started? You feel a little bit more awake, a little bit more aware. Okay, so for the strengthening exercises, we're going to start with the shoulder blades. Now, the shoulder blades are an area that's often neglected and often an area that gets really tight. People often experience, or at least when I treat them, if they've been working at a desk all day, pain around the shoulder blades at these points here. So we're going to start to work the muscles that control those points. So for those who have slightly weaker shoulders, I just want you to be rolling your shoulders. This is the easiest version of this exercise. The harder version is going to be rolling the shoulders with your arms out straight. So the objective is to do the same movement but holding your arms out. This provides much more load. And for those who feel really ambitious, hold your arms out to the side and start to roll your shoulders. This is very hard to coordinate, especially people tend to do it with their arms and not their shoulder blades. So I'm going to stick with the middle version. And we're going to do 20 circles like this. So your feet are slightly wider than shoulder width apart, soften the knees, and you're going to start rolling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep it in the shoulder blades. I want those arms to be straight. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's harder than you thought it was, right? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, now the arms. So, circles with the arms. This is now working the shoulder joint itself, the ball and socket joint that connects your arms with your shoulders. Beach balls. So, keep your arms circling around the beach ball. You should start to feel it in the shoulders. Relax the arms down. Take a little break. Come out again, and you're going to do footballs now. So, 10 circles around a football. 1, 2. If it's painful, just relax. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Shake your shoulders out again. Okay, next we're going to do tennis balls. So, it's easier if you hold your arms a little bit out to the front. For those who are struggling to hold them all the way out to the sides, just come forwards a little bit, and if it's too painful, just continue to roll the shoulders. So, next, tennis balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ping pong balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now a P. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now a full stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Back to beach balls, shake out the shoulders. Now if that wasn't enough, take that exercise home and practice the full stop movement a little bit more. That small vibration forces the muscles deep in the shoulder joint to activate, and they will get stronger doing that. Next movement we're going to do is reaching towards the floor. This integrates your arm movement with your spinal movement, okay? And it's a very useful thing to start doing. So, feet slightly wider than shoulder width, knees slightly bent, and reach towards the floor. Allow your knees to bend into this movement, and you're going to be reaching towards the floor, getting your spine involved with your shoulders. Okay, a couple more times, keep reaching. If it's painful anyway, just do less. Pain as though your body asking you to adjust. Find an easier way to do it. Next, reaching out in front. Okay, allow your whole body to contribute to this movement, directed by your arms. And gradually, we're going to start coming up. So your shoulder blades are pulling your spine into rotation, and everything is working in order to assist this really natural and useful movement pattern. So gradually coming up to shoulder height now. We'll stay at shoulder height for a couple of repetitions. It's a very useful movement to start doing. And play with where you're putting your hands. Is it easier if you face them up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor? Beginning to reach up now. This is where it's going to get much more difficult. And I do not want to see people arching into their lower back when they do this. I want to see your spine staying straight and the work being done by your shoulders. So, pay attention to your lower back as you begin to reach overhead. Try not to arch into the lower back. That will compress the joints and it's unnecessary. Keep reaching. Straight above your head. This is a movement we don't do very often. Keep going, 5 more times. 3, 4, 5. 5 on each arm. 10 and relax down. Good. Okay, so hopefully your arms are starting to feel nice and warmed up now. Just see whether you're more aware of the muscles around your shoulders. See if they feel any looser. So we're going to go into some press-ups. This is why you need to have some space on the floor. Now, for press-ups, they work the pec muscles in the chest and they also work the tricep muscles at the back. And it's a very useful muscle group for any kind of pushing movement that you need to get good at. So, for those who feel like it's going to be a struggle getting into the full press-up position, stay on your knees and you can start to work here. The further the distance from your knees to your hands, the harder it's going to be. So for those who are feeling ambitious, you can come into the full press-up position. For those who are feeling really ambitious, start with a fully bent spine and right up on the very toes. So we're going to do 15 press-ups here. So make sure that the first couple you're feeling very comfortable doing. Okay, so beginning now. 1, 2. If it's hurting your wrists, 3. Point your fingers outwards towards the sides. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it's too much, just stop. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come back to tabletop position. Now we're going to get your shoulder blades continuing to work. This movement is slightly more difficult to coordinate. And what you're going to be doing is, in tabletop, going into cat and cow. If you've ever done yoga before, this is a very useful movement to get good at. But the principle is trying to push your shoulder blades away from the floor. So you're pushing downwards into the mat and allowing your spine to arch and curl as you do so. So tucking in your chin, pushing away. And when you come out, do exactly the opposite. Looking up, keep that tongue at the roof of your mouth. Drop your spine and your shoulder blades together. And come back out into full flexion. So pushing away, arching. And get your pelvis involved with this movement. Make sure your pelvis is tilting and assisting this natural flexion and extension of your arms. Okay, a couple more times with this. Get that spine moving. See if you can feel the relationship between your shoulder blades and your mid-back. Really allow them to come together. And pushing away. Okay, next we're going to get some rotation into the back. So in the same position, you're going to take one arm and reaching out to the side. And coming back down and tucking it in underneath. So you are going to be reaching out to the side. Get that whole spine rotating. Tucking in, reaching through. Coming back to the center. Reaching out to the side with the opposite hand. Tucking in and through. Coming back to the center. Reaching out to the side. Feeling that rotation. Look at your hand all the way. I just got a nice click in my back as I did that. Tucking through. Coming back to the center. Reaching out to the side. Tucking through. Back to the center. One more time each side with this. Reaching out, tucking through, back to the center. Reaching out, tucking through, back to the center. Okay, bring yourself to kneeling. Feel your shoulders. How are they feeling? How's your back feeling? And in this kneeling position, we're just going to test your rotation. So put your right hand on the outside of your left knee and look around. Feel that rotation translate throughout your spine. Keep it comfortable. Take a deep breath. Breathe out and see if you can go a little further. Stretching your whole spine into rotation. Come back to the center. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Hold the outside of the knee. Bring the other hand back. Place it on the ground. Deep breath in. And relax into rotation. Feel a gentle stretch. Okay, coming up to standing. And we're going to begin to get a little bit more coordination in the mid-back here. So it's the same movement that we did with the cat and the camel, but we're going to do it standing. And this is a really important movement to learn, and I find myself teaching it to people all the time if you spent a long period of time sitting at a desk or feeling like you're a little bit hunched over. So this movement, I want you to practice it outside of this exercise class. And the idea is you have a pencil sticking out from your chest and a piece of paper in front of you. And what you're trying to do is draw a line upwards with that pencil that's sticking out from your breastbone. So the movement looks like this. Now that is movement coming from my spine and not my shoulders coming back. This is a movement independent of my shoulders. And it's a spinal extension in the mid-back. It helps to breathe in as you draw that line upwards. So I just want you to spend a moment seeing if you can control that mid-back, that part of your body that may not be that accessible to you, especially if you've been sitting at a desk for a while. Just seeing if you can engage with it. And notice how when you engage with that, your head can stack neatly on top of the spine all of a sudden. It's establishing a strong base for your head to rest upon. Also, it naturally brings your shoulder blades back without you having to force them back with muscular effort. So many people hold their posture straight by bringing their shoulder blades back and into extension. It's just not necessary. If you can control your spine well, that'll happen automatically. And this movement, that pencil sticking out, drawing a line upwards, will control that for you. So next, we're going to add the shoulder blades into that movement again, and as you go upwards, you're going to open out. And you're looking up towards the ceiling, and you should feel a gentle stretch across the chest as you do this movement. Closing the shoulder blades back as you extend through the spine, and closing in again to flex, doing exactly the opposite. For this movement, I want you to reach forwards and push your spine backwards, as if you're trying to avoid someone poking you in the chest. And we're going to repeat those movements, okay? Bringing the shoulder blades back, opening your chest to the sky, bringing your shoulder blades across your thoracic cage and flexing that forward, stretching out those shoulder blades, lifting up and stretching. So keep repeating this. I'm just going to check the time quickly. Fantastic, we've got 5 minutes left. Okay, so now we're going to integrate the breathing into that same movement. So as you go back, you're going to breathe in. And as you come forwards, breathing out. 2 more times. Closing the shoulder blades. Stretching them out. Good, and come back to normal and resting. So we're going to finish with a couple of stretches. So the last stretch we're going to do is a nice side bending stretch. And so with this one, I want you to drop down into this side bending movement that we came into before. Keep it comfortable. You want to stretch at the level of like 3 out of 10 because we're going to increase the stretch by breathing. So keep it comfortable, 3 out of 10, and you'll feel it in the back and in the neck likely. Place your palm over your ear. Now don't push with your arm into your head. Just allow that hand to rest on the head, and the objective is to push the elbow upwards towards the ceiling. This will open out the shoulder blades more. And take a deep breath here. You'll notice that it increases the stretch as you breathe in. And breathe out, relax into that movement. We're going to do this 3 times. Coming back to the centre and repeating the same thing on the other side. Starting with the head, dropping down to a really comfortable stretch. Placing your hand on the outside, taking a deep breath in. Okay, and come back to the centre. Last movement we're going to do is a really nice cool down movement, and it's just going to be swinging your arms around your body, nice bent knees, allowing your whole body just to experience the looseness that you've created by getting everything moving for the morning. Notice how free it can feel. And that's where we're going to finish. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you felt like there was an area that you wanted me to cover that we didn't today, or that you would like to cover next time, please write that in the chat box, and I'm more than happy to cover those things that you want. I've recorded today's session, so I'm also going to post that online and you'll find a link. But I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Thank you very much. I'm going to stay around for the next 5-10 minutes just to answer any comments. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your days.